DELF exam or TCF exam is not just about listening and taking the answers. You have to be practicing. You have to take the notes. You have to mention because the audio is a little long or it's a little speed up. You cannot recall everything. You have to start taking notes. While preparing for a DELF exam, you are preparing a wide variety of topics to speak to. You're taking classes, and even if you're not, you are, it can be anything. Digitalization, it can be urban situation versus the rural situation. You are already preparing yourself for a wide variety of topics, a wide variety of vocabulary.
And now we are moving ahead with the third part of this podcast that is going to be mainly around the exams and certification insights. So, yes, you're already DELF B2 certified. And how did preparing for each, level shaped your French language proficiency? Will you be able to throw some lights on that? Yeah.
Now, as these exams, all of them, made TCF, made DELF, DALF, all of them have a structure that is divided into 4 parts: listening, reading, speaking, and writing.
Right.
For interpretation, if I'm speaking to be precise, the 2 steps required for interpretation are listening. You have to be a good listener, and secondly, speaking. You have to be, a good speaker.
Right.
While preparing for these exam, and I would mention your channel once again because for the listening part, I just went through your all of the videos and RFI and all these things. So when you're listening, a DELF exam or a TCF exam is not just about listening and taking the answers. You have to be practicing. You have to take the notes. You have to mention because the audio is a little long or it's a little speed up. You cannot recall everything. You have to start taking notes. So I was already, while preparing for the exam, I was already, getting the hang of it, getting the practice of how to take notes, how to prepare myself. And that is what helped me in the interpretation process as well. Secondly, speaking. While preparing for a DELF exam, you are preparing a wide variety of topics to speak to. You're taking classes, and even if you're not, you are, it can be anything. Digitalization, it can be the urban situation versus the rural situation. You are already preparing yourself for a wide variety of topics, a wide variety of vocabulary. So that is how the DELF exam, it helped me with my.
That is really, that is really interesting to hear. And now, which exam do you feel are most beneficial for someone who is considering a career in interpretation?
See, I'm not an expert, but what I noticed, because I applied at 20 companies, different 20 companies while I was in the process of looking for a work, and I got an offer from a few. So what they're willing to look is a DELF or a DALF. TCF is not very recognized with the recruiters, not in the Indian domain at least, not even in the abroad domains or abroad companies. They are looking for a DELF or DALF certification.
Right. And I think TCF and TEF and TCF, they are the exams that are mainly required just for the immigration purposes.
Yes.
And apart from that,
academic reasons.
So apart from that, I don't think so in the corporate, in the professional world, if there is anything to do with these exams.
I looked into a lot of companies, and every one of them is asking DELF and DALF exam, and that is all.
And what is the minimum level they are requiring?
For different opportunities, the minimum level at least required by for any domain, IT maybe or product or service related, they're demanding B1, pardon me. B1 is the minimum requirement, yes.
Right. And that is DELF B1.
DELF B1, yes.
Understood. Now we are going to move ahead to our next section of the podcast that is mainly going to be focusing on earning potential. So talking about you as you're into interpretation field, now how would you describe the career scope and earning potential for the French interpreters in India and abroad?
So the scope is really wide. You can get into anything. You can. This is the like the advantage of being a language expert, that you
Hmm.
can go into any field of your preference.
Yes.
There are a lot of fields, as I mentioned earlier. IT is there, and also product services are there, and product
Right.
management are there. So the pay range is starting from 4 or 5 lakh INR. It can go
Okay.
to
Okay.
15 lakh INR, depending upon your
Hmm.
proficiency, depending upon your language skills, and also the domain you're applying for. And lastly,
Hmm.
the experience that you have acquired.
Understood. And can you specify a range that a person can start with at least?
Again, it depends upon the certification or the language skills you have, but
Right.
minimum range of starting on an average, if I can give, it's
Yeah.
5 or 6 lakh an INR.
Understood. Considering DELF B2 proficiency.
Yes, DELF B2.
Understood. And then it depends upon the certification, how your skills and how you are growing with the language along with
Exactly.
experience and everything.
And
Understood.
also mentioning it is per annum. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Understood. And what about abroad? Any do you have any idea about how they are paid abroad? In abroad?
Abroad, I do have a little idea. So again, it depends upon the specialization, because they're looking for a specialization there. Either you
Yes.
have to be, medically certified as an interpreter. It can be anything around $20,000 or $75,000. I have seen companies and I have been rejected from them because I was not certified to be a medical interpreter. But
Right.
yeah, this is what the range is.
Okay. So
Also
if
depending
somebody,
upon the country.
okay.
Yeah.
So uh which countries are the like the most uh in which countries you have seen most of the opportunities as of now?
About French language, a lot of them. I had, a company that I applied to in Greece. So, uh,
Ah,
yes, French
okay.
language you can find anywhere.
Right.
You have, America, they have
Mm-hmm.
the requirement. France is not required. They do have the native. They don't need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Canada is there, and I once saw an opportunity in Philippines as well.
Mm. Okay.
Usually they are looking for locals, but sometimes they do if you can apply and you get in, you can just there.
Understood. Understood. Got it. Now, moving ahead. So, would you recommend interpretation as a career to advanced French learners, and what should they realistically expect?
So it is a career, or it's a profession only for advanced learners. I will
Right.
say that. The beginners or the B1 level
Mm-hmm.
are not up to it. It is
Right.
being it will be, firstly, the recruiters are not looking for them.
Yeah.
So the recruiters are looking for B2 minimum
Hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
a C1 level learner.
Right.
Apart from that, interpretation, depending upon your area or your expertise, it's a tough job. It's not an easy one. It's a very hectic job. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be on your toes all the time. And it is also, gratifying. It's also short term, as in teaching, you have to prepare for classes. And after that, also, you are checking or you are noting the comprehensions or productions provided by the students. But here,
Mm-hmm.
when you're done with the job, you're done with the job. You cannot have anything else.
Right.
So, uh, but yeah, it's also emotionally draining if you're into medical field, or if you're into,
Hmm.
emergency field,
Yes.
where they're providing emergency services.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's a good domain, and I think if you are, wanting to, you just must go through and apply for it.
Understood. And is there any option with that a person can do interpretation, maybe part time or maybe as a freelancer?
Yes, a lot of them. although it's not very good good paying, but a lot of opportunities are there. As I told you about my teacher, she was doing it as freelance because she was already a teacher at the Alliance Francaise.
Yeah.
And even the Alliance Francaise, they provide interpretation services by them. So I cannot say for her, but yeah, there are a lot of interpretation services, a lot of,
Hmm.
but for that you have to go into the websites that you can apply to.
So can you
You
name
have
a
to
few
look for it.
websites? Can you name a few websites, trusted
Okay.
ones?
Sure. It may be Fiverr. Upwork is also there.
Okay. Okay.
LinkedIn
Uh,
and Indeed, they are usually about, part-time jobs are not there if you're looking for freelancing.
hmm. So mainly you would recommend Fiverr and Upwork
Yes.
for the. Okay. Understood. Now, moving to the final section of our podcast, and that is mainly going to be motivation and language learning tips. Okay. So, what are some of the, what language habits or routines helped you, building a strong listening, speaking, or, like quick recall skills?
So, firstly, this is the advice that everyone is giving out there. And because it is the most important one, you have to
Hmm.
do every day. You have to do this thing every day. Even
Right.
if 5 minutes a day, you have to take out time. You don't even have to, be actively learning it. If you're a beginner, not for the advanced learner, you have to do
Hmm.
something actively for, getting the
Yeah.
hang of it. But for beginners, if you're, you're on the way, put some headphones on, just play some music or a podcast, use RFI, radio phones, just listen to it, read it. There are a lot of magazines. There is Mediatek that is provided by the Alliance Francaise. It's
Hmm.
a it's an amazing resource for everyone who is not living in a metropolitan cities or don't have access to the French content. And there are a lot of things online. YouTube is the best source for
Yeah.
everyone. It's free of cost. It's reliable, and the content variation it's huge. So
Yes.
also for active recall, I would say that it's for the advanced learners.
Hmm.
You have to take your time out, put something on. Is like for the interpretation part. Put your
Hmm.
headphones on, just write down everything.
Okay.
Once you have the habit of writing down, taking notes, you're already, doing half the job.
Hmm.
Even, and this
Understood.
is going to help for the exams also, the DELF exam, the DALF exam.
Right. I'm sure that will help. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Now moving to the next part. Next question. Sorry. So, how do you stay updated and maintain your language proficiency even when you are not actively interpreting?
Firstly, language is all about using it.
Yeah.
And for my part, I'm good at speaking and listening and not at writing.
Okay.
So I try to read a lot when I'm not
Hmm.
actively interpreting, or I will call my friends. I have some French friends. There are some
Okay.
applications you can look forward. Hello Talk is there. So
Mm-hmm.
at that application, there are certain rooms, and there is a discussion going on every room. It can be either one. It can be talking about any languages, and either it's just political discussions. I have spent hours debating about what the government in France is doing and what government in India is doing with some French people. It's there,
Hmm.
right there. It can be anything, and also you find a lot of people around there who are at your level or who are going through what you're going. And
Right.
I also, at Hello Talk, I found a person who gave DELF B2 exam 3 times, and 3 times she failed, and still she was preparing for the fourth time.
Hmm.
So it's an interactive way. You
Yeah.
don't always have to push yourself to, okay, I have to study. Now I have to get down.
Yes.
I have to learn it. Or no, it's language process is not like that. You
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
just enjoy it for the sake of it.
And what do you think? How much time a person should, devote to the language to reach at B2 or maybe C1 level? Because I've heard a lot of people, making false promises online that they will train somebody for in 3 months, maybe 4 months, 6 months. Because you have also, like studied, at an early age, you have also reached at a good level. So according to you, what is your recommendation for somebody who is willing to reach at an advanced level? How much time a person should devote, actually?
So it also depends on the person to person.
Mm-hmm.
Some persons they get things very fast. For
Yeah.
me, I have to get into that thing. I have to just figure it out what it is by myself.
Hmm.
Then only I can move forward.
Right.
So I'm a little of a self learner. I used to take classes 8 hours a week minimum
Right.
at the Alliance Française. All my process I took classes at the Alliance Française
Hmm.
for 5 years.
Right.
Apart from that, I also did something of my own. As I told you, taking up applications, listening to music, or watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
While you're at advanced level, there are certain activities you have to do that are, passive learning, not active. Sorry, pardon me, active learning and not passive learning.
Hmm.
So, taking notes or taking something in English, translated in French. That is what I did to learn English when I was a child. So just take
Hmm.
something, take a book you like, just try to translate it in French. What happens
Okay.
is, uh, personally, what I had a problem with learning French was I got the tenses. A lot of them are there. I can do
Hmm.
them individually. I can, solve the exercises. But when
Hmm.
trying to use them everything at once, you are not able to because you
Hmm.
don't have the habit of it. So
Yes.
when you're translating something, not you don't have to be every time, grammatically accurate.
Hmm.
And I would recommend doing it from English to French because English people are usually comfortable with.
Right.
There are going to be certain phrases you're going to get problem. And when those phrases come, just write them down. Use
Hmm.
applications like Reverso. Don't use Google Translate. Use Reverso. It's a good application. There are word
Right.
references also there. Use them, figure out what the problem was, and go through with it. That
Hmm.
is what actually is going to help you become better at the language and not,
Yes.
uh, just speaking it or
Hmm.
learning some expressions.
Understood.
What most
Understood.
people say is learn connectors. Connectors are not going to help until you know how to use the language.
Hmm. That's very true. And any motivation advice for learners who are stuck between maybe B1 or B2 level and who aspire to reach C1 level?
Firstly, don't compare yourself to anyone. If you're taking any classes and you're in a group class, often I've seen, I have been there myself. Often you're comparing yourself to the other person, that
Hmm.
the other person who is doing a better job than you. You have
Yeah.
to know that there are certain cases, for example, that other person might have more time in hand than you. So you
Yes.
cannot be comparing yourself. You have to you have to learn a language, but instead of learning that language, try to live with it. Learn
Hmm.
has become, in our times, it has become a pressure. You
Yes.
don't have to make it a chore. Language is a beautiful thing. You have to, live with it. So
Hmm.
that is what I will say. When you're trying to get a level from B1 to B2 level, you have to spend a lot of time. You have to figure out what your problem is. Instead
Right.
of asking a teacher, I will suggest you ask a friend. And don't ask your close friends. They're never going to give you good advice because they will be thinking you will get offended. Make friends outside. As I
Hmm.
told you, a lot
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
those people are going to be very blunt. They are going to tell you the real thing. Once
Yeah.
you figure out the problem, you can figure out the solution. Solution finding
Hmm.
is easy. The
Yes.
problem, you have to find the problem. For example, I had problem with grammar, I had problem with writing, and
Mm-hmm.
I got to know that, and then I can work for it. So
Yes.
these are the two things I would like to say for anyone who want to, go from B1 level to B2 level.
Hmm. Was it formidable, huh? By the way.
Thank
Right.
you.
And
Merci.
the because I can I can really feel that the kind of the passion that you have for the language. I can feel that with your conversation. So it's really amazing to listen to you while speaking, and I can really relate, the way you are speaking, and the way you are having it you are in love with the language. So it's actually relatable. Right. That's
Well,
so
it is a
amazing.
love we share for it, and I have been loving this language for 5 years. Obviously, I'm going to be passionate about it.
Yes. So you have studied French in school earlier? You started with
Not
school?
at all.
No? Okay. Okay. So after 10th you started with it, right?
Yes, exactly. After my 10th exams, I started in October 2020.
Hmm. Understood. So at that time you decided to choose the career language path. Is it?
Nothing, I had nothing decided. I was just going with the flow.
Hmm. Amazing. Because a lot of people have, because I also teach students in my school till of grade 10th, I mean, I'm mostly hear from their side that, oh sir, next year results are, we will be, I mean, we will be giving our boards exam, and then 11th and 12th will be there, and then we will not be in touch with the language. We don't want to stay with French, I don't know. I mean, because a lot of people are having, this competition into engineering, medical, and all of that. These are the most common, key
Profession.
domains. Yeah, professions that the parents are also pushing their children for the same. And
Actually, that is the thing. I had taught a student. He was very sweet, very sweet, and he was in sixth standard, and he hated French
mm,
because they have made it a chore. They have made it
yes,
a great system. You're teaching a language and you cannot do that.
absolutely. And parents are actually demanding that my child should score well in the subject. That's why they are,
Exactly. And they
making the
can. They can. These student, he hated French. He got 90 out of 100.
hmm.
Getting
They
great is
are,
not the
I
hardest
think they
part.
are not. What I feel is they are not actually loving the language the way it should
Oh,
be. They are not. They are just memorizing the grammar rules,
um,
exceptions, and
exactly. That is
mainly
why
targeting the exam.
most of the people who are learning at school any language. For example, I
Hmm.
personally had Sanskrit.
Yeah.
I don't want to continue it. No, not because I was not used to loving it. Now, as a grown up, I get to know it's a beautiful language. But when we were learning it, now it was same as maths or chemistry. No
Hmm.
differentiation there. Now I
Yes.
know that, oh God, it's a beautiful language. The process that goes into figuring
Yes.
out the grammar of the language, and the process. It's very beautiful.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. And I feel lucky myself that in my school French wasn't there. Otherwise, I might not be, a language.
I have the same thought.
Yeah. And I mean, I now feel, like very lucky that, okay, yes, I have not studied French in my school. Otherwise, I may not be into this field. I might have
Exactly.
chosen something else. Uh,
Exactly.
because the way our education system is working currently, it's like mainly exam oriented, and
Yes.
not,
In a
not,
good way.
yeah, not in another other way, like where a person can feel motivated to pursue that particular, language in their career and
Even
make a
in
career in
English
the language.
language, they are teaching English language as if, it's a theoretical subject. It is not.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful language. You cannot
Yes,
be teaching, it like that. There is
correct.
no practice there. Even for English
Hmm.
language, they're not teaching the language. You know,
Hmm.
you are never learning the languages at school.
Yes.
I was lucky I got my teacher and I loved the language. We used to, discuss about Shakespeare and everything. I had Merchant of Venice. So I got lucky. I had a teacher. Otherwise, most people, they're not even able to love the English language, and it is a beautiful language as well.
Very true.
Same goes for
Very true.
Hindi. People of our age, they
Absolutely.
don't love Hindi anymore.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's more of a, pressurizing thing as of now. I don't
Situation,
know.
yeah.
Uh, I think if we will talk about education system, then our purpose, we will be deviating from our purpose. But yeah, I mean, we really need to, I mean, maybe the education ministry really needs to, think about something in this field to bring some meaningful changes into this field. I'm sure
Not speaking
because
of the technical part of it, it's a
yeah,
long process. It's going to take time, but
yeah,
I think even for children and for adults, learning
hmm,
language is a lot. So
yes,
I think incorporating cultural aspects, as in novels or interesting ones, not the at school they always want to teach us the hard parts. They'll give it Merchant of Venice or the hard novels to us. Instead of that, if they will incorporate the music, or make the learning process a little interesting.
hmm, very
Even
true.
also, one advice I will give for any French learner who is at advanced stage: look for comedy shows. It is the
Hmm,
most easy way to learn a language and enjoy it.
yeah. Any recommendation, any source that you wanted to share?
About the language for
Yeah, and the comedy
exam,
part.
the comedy part. There's a French comedian, Sebastian. He's amazing. He was a New Yorker who came to France.
Hmm.
And, so
He
it's
has prepared
relatable.
the video with a video with the president of France as well,
Yes, he
Emmanuel
also came
Macron.
to Alliance Francaise recently. He was in India.
Oh,
And
good.
also, there's a channel, I believe, Monster X, I believe. It's
Okay.
also, you can look around. Once you will, try to search for it, you can get a lot of comedy things.
Yeah,
Also, French Parliament is a lot of memes are there. So, you have to incorporate those things as well.
absolutely.
Language learning process is not taking classes, it's about enjoying
Hmm.
it. So, enjoy it,
Yes.
live the best of it.
Amazing. That's good. Thank you so much, Anushka. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing all of that, and I'm sure people will be loving this conversation.
I hope so, but otherwise, just go and look for French, comedy video. That is also going to help you. And
Hmm.
I hope this conversation is worth your time.
Absolutely.